Hello, hello. All right. Going live. What's going on, everybody? Hello, hello, guys. Welcome in, welcome. Hey, guys. Going live again today. It's another beautiful Thursday. So, we are continuing on the Bridge City tool display. As you can see, it's all lit up, exciting. Got some tools going on there. So today, it's going to be finished up. It's kind of exciting. It's been like, what, month and a half that we've been working on it. So, yeah, it's exciting. Let me show you what we got going on. I'll get you kind of a close-up and kind of check it out. Hope everybody's doing well today. Thanks for joining, everybody. All right, let's get a little close-up going here. So, as you can see, kind of make the best of both worlds. We got a vertical camera and a horizontal camera, so I'll have to kind of pan back and forth here. But so we have the Bridge City Tools display. So for those of you who are new here to the live, we've been working on this display here for a little while. So basically what we're doing is we got all these tools over here, all these guys laying on the bench, and we got to put all those displayed nice and organized on there. So that's kind of what we're doing. I've been working on this for, it's probably been a month and a half so far. And I've only been working on it like once a week. So it's taking a little longer than expected, but isn't that the usual with projects, right? So what's up, everybody? So kind of where we left off last time was we were working on getting these shelves kind of secured in place. We had the sides on. We had pretty much everything on last time, except I didn't have any of these front faces on, and I didn't have these guys on here, and then as well as the lighting wasn't really hooked up. I don't know if I showed you guys that or not, but still need to kind of tack the lighting in place a little bit. It's a little bit loose behind here, but overall, I mean, it's streaming out nicely. Let me get you guys like a front view so you can see kind of how the light streams out. I think it's kind of, whoa, getting cords caught on stuff here. Hang on one second, guys. There we go. Nice. So the light kind of spills out from behind the sign. It's kind of cool. And then, yeah, working on kind of laying everything out. So I just tacked in this, the HP 12, I think I forget, I think that's the name. HP 12 in the middle there, that's kind of going to be the centerpiece. So I just put that one in place, and then these guys are just kind of sitting there. So now I got to go through today and put some little dividers in place, organize everything. And yeah, so I'm hoping it's going to come along pretty quick today. Already got a pretty good idea of what I want to lay it out like. Last week we kind of went over, I did like a little rough mock-up with the blue tape here on the bench just to kind of see kind of what layout size I have, and then just threw the tools on there to see how they looked. So got a couple pictures of kind of how I'm wanting to lay it out. So that's kind of what we're going for today. So this morning I was working on just getting some of these little strips cut. Well, last week I got them cut down to size, but I routed them this morning and sanded all of them, threw some stain on them. So these are going to be kind of my little divider strips, as well as to kind of tack up and hold things in place. So has working on those this morning. And I don't want to talk too much today. I want to just get into it because I want to get this thing done. I want to see it. I see it completed. So basically, yeah, I'm going to get into it. Just kind of laying out stuff, like I said. Got the strips there. And then, yeah, I got most of my tools. I'll probably add like one or two after the fact, after I'm done, but I'll probably just leave a little bit of space for that afterwards. So the process I'm doing basically is, so down here, our shelves are made out of 1/2-inch plywood. And then I have this front face on it here that I sanded down and put some nice roundovers on the edges so it's not sharp or obnoxious. Everything's going to slide in place nicely. And I'm leaving a little bit of room side to side there just because I don't want it to be like too snug in there. I want it to, because I will be using these tools in the workshop. Let me kind of get you a nice close-up of what I'm talking about. So I'm just using kind of those strips, like I said, and kind of tacking those on. I'm doing a little bit of glue underneath and then just doing some brad nails, 2 up here, 2 down here. And what I'm doing is basically squaring this off with a square. So let me get my square out here. Just making sure that's nice and square like that. And then put that in there. And then use my spacer. I'm just using this little spacer here for a guide of how, I think it's about just over 1/8. Probably like what, 3/16. So I'm using that just as like a little friction fit thing. That way when I pull it out, I have a little bit of wiggle room in there. And then I didn't want this to slide all the way down and touch that because then it'd leave some weird room up here. So what I did was I just tacked in a little piece right here just to hold it, just kind of even spacing up here and down here, kind of centered on the whole shelf there. So that's kind of the process I'm going through right now. And now I have to figure out kind of where I want to lay these guys out along here. Figure out kind of how I want to do it. So I'm going to get to it. But that's kind of what we're going through today. And I should say, I know I've been talking about this for a while, and I mentioned like multiple times that this is going to be at the AWFS convention. However, I did have some misinformation, so this one's actually not going to the convention, but we will have all of the Bridge City tools on display for you guys there. So if you do come to the convention, unfortunately, you won't be able to see this guy. This is going to be just kind of for the shop, but we will have all the tools displayed, so you guys will be able to see all of them, and then obviously we'll have the saws and everything else there from Harvey. So all the Harvey stuff, Bridge City stuff, all the tools will be there, just my display won't, which is a little saddening, but that's okay. We built it, and it's going to get used in the shop here, and it's a really cool display, so why not? So anyways, that's a little tidbit. AWFS conference or convention, it's going to be end of July 25th through the 28th, I believe. It's going to be in Las Vegas. We're going to be there. Bridge City Tools, Harvey Industries International is going to be there. We're going to have some really cool people there. We're going to have the owners of the company. You'll be able to meet, talk with them, kind of get some any questions you might have about the company itself or anything like that. You'll be able to get them answered there, as well as we'll have some really cool like kind of content creators there. So you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be, again, in Las Vegas, the 25th through the 28th of July. So check it out, AWFS Convention. And I believe that's, what is it? American Woodworking Furnishers and Suppliers. Suppliers and Furnishers, AWFS. Furnishings and Suppliers, that's what it stands for. Anyways, I'll quit blabbing on and let's get to it. So I'm going to be going back and forth. We got obviously the piece here that we're working on, and then I'm going to be going over here to the slider and cutting some little pieces. So I'll be kind of going back and forth, disappearing here and there, but you'll be able to see me when I'm tacking stuff on here and putting stuff in place. And I will be on my phone because I did take some pictures. Let me see here. Let me find them. Last time we were doing the live last week, took some pictures of kind of some rough layouts. Kind of what I want to see the shelf looking like. Let me give you a little. So, well, it's twisting on me, but just a little bit of a layout here. I'm not sure how well you guys can see that, but so we got the HP 12 in the center and then the HP 8s on the side. So that's kind of what I'm going for, just using those for reference. And then we have a rough plan for the bottom shelf as well. And then the top layout, I have an idea of what I'm doing, but I'm just going to kind of shift things around and see what I like. So without further ado, let's get into it. And for those of you that are new to the lives, I am wearing a mic, but it's only going to be on YouTube Live. So if you do want better audio, sometimes it gets a little noisy here in the warehouse. If you do want better audio, check on YouTube Live. It's going to be a lot better audio. So just a little tidbit for you there. Okay, so I was kind of brainstorming about this a little bit ago and tried to figure out kind of how I want to, because I want these suspended mid-shelf. So obviously they're not going to sit there without sliding down. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to lay out some actual pieces. Just get that over. Is that going to fit in there? Okay, that'll fit. So I don't know if I want to actually throw some pieces across like that, create some little ridges. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to suspend these. And also I need to figure out spacing this way. So for now, I'm going to just grab some little scrap pieces to space things out with. Let's get you guys a little closer here so you can see better. What's going on, everybody? Hey, I hope everybody's doing really well today. You guys are enjoying your Thursday so far. I am. It's been a good day so far. So I just want to kind of get an idea of how far I need to space these and what kind of how I want to put them together. So like I'm almost wondering if I should just create like a little box around it, or if I should just do some coming all the way across. I'm not really sure. I'm just gonna cut a few short pieces of the actual piece I'm gonna be using and see what it looks like. So I'm not sure if I want to kind of create like a little box like this around it for each piece. Honestly, that might be just the easiest thing to do. I'm wondering though if it would look bad with the edges not, I mean, I'll stain the ends, but I don't know if I want end grain like that or not. I think I might just do that actually. I think I like that. So essentially it's gonna just sit like something like that. And then I'll have a little top on it there. And I can actually use something, you know, something to space it out evenly on either side. I'll reference my picture that I had laid out. Kind of see what I had going on. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So, I'm going to go ahead and get the length that I need. And I'm just kind of using all these pieces themselves as like reference points. Actually, I kind of like the length of that as it is. As it sits there. So I'm gonna just cut a couple more of these. Let's see, I need 2, 4, 6, 8, because all of these guys are gonna be the same exact dimensions. So we'll just do 2, 4, 6, 8. I got 2 here, so I need to cut 6 more of these. So I will be right back. I guess I might as well just flip you guys around since we're already here. We're gonna be using the slider table here. Thing is awesome. Cuts like butter. see here. Gotta be cutting it a little bit close, I think. I'm just gonna use some of the longer pieces so I don't have to risk cutting my fingers off. And you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and cut all of them at the same time. Because why not? I'm gonna clean up the edges first. So lay them out just about like that. Just roughly get them laid out, and then I'm gonna cut the ends clean. This one needs to be cut off. There we go. Okay. All right, we got all of our clean ends cut now. Now what I need to do is keep them all where I want them. Just pinching them for reference. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tape them together just so that they stay. Some blue tape. Which I got some laying right here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just make sure they're all exactly squared up on the ends. Throw some tape over them. Okay, there's that. Now they should be all good to stay together. Just gonna line it up on the edge of the blade there. Right there, that's where I like it. And now I'm actually gonna put another piece of tape there just for good measure. Right there, that's where I want it. Oh, oh, okay. Well, that one wants to go under there, so we'll just leave it. All right, let's make the cut. Go. Now I should say these pieces are just made out of pretty soft pine, so I'm getting a little bit of tear out, but I'm not too worried about it because I'm just gonna throw a little stain on there. You won't ever see it. So now we should have 6 identical pieces. Just gonna square them up, see how we're looking. Like I got one. This one on the very end is just a little bit long. So I'm just gonna cut that down a tiny bit. It's probably the one I left out and didn't cut that time. Check it again. Still a tiny bit long, so I'll just trim it down just a hair more. All right, I'm feeling that's gonna be good. Perfect. All right, 2, 4, 6, 8. And I probably won't be using the G800 dust collector that much because I'm just cutting some little tiny pieces, so I'm not worried about the dust kicking up too much. Okay, let's flip back around over here and start getting set up here. So, hey everybody, saying hi to the new folks coming in. Everybody's doing well. All right, so essentially what I'm going to be doing is just going to be doing that, and then I need to make a couple bottom pieces. So I'll make a kind of a test one here. And then also I'm going to be using, like I said, that spacer, which if I can find where I put it. Here we are. Just my little makeshift spacer there. Make sure everything's square, tight down there. Now I'm just going to hold those in place while I slide. Oh, that didn't work. I have a better idea. I've got smaller ones to use. That way I can put this across and still get the right size that I want. There we go. All right, everything's squared up. Now I'm just gonna put that there. So essentially what I'm doing is just creating like a little box around it. Okay, I'm gonna cut that and see where we're sitting at. Yeah, I think that's good. It's just a hair over what I wanted, but I think I like it just like that. Should be fine. So, and what I'm gonna do is I have a stain rag over there that's already got some stain on it. I'm just gonna tap those and make sure the ends are nice and dark. All right, so now I need, again, 7 more of these pieces, so I'll just repeat the same thing that I just did. We'll go back over to the saw here. Turn that off for a second. All right, and we are using the ST1500 sliding table. Thing is so smooth. Probably my favorite addition to a table saw that I've ever used, this thing here. Because it's not, you can go ahead and buy like a $10,000 real, like, huge sliding table that is actually like attached to the saw and everything. But obviously most people don't have that kind of money to spend on their home shop. And this one's smaller, so you don't need as big of a footprint. So that's why I just like this, this guy here. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna grab an extra one here. So I know you probably can't see very well what I'm doing here, but I'm gonna use this fence. Use this fence as a reference point to get a square edge, and then I'm gonna just put it tight there and then push all of the pieces up to it. That way I know they're nice and square, and I have, just making sure I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exactly what I need. So just making sure everything's square, lined up, and then I'm gonna grab another piece of tape. Okay, again, squaring everything up. Making sure they're all sitting correctly, nice and tight there, so we get a good clean edge. Throw a piece of tape on them. Okay. We're gonna slide them out just until we get okay, now I'm gonna make sure this piece that I know is the right size is lined up, and then just kind of push that on there. So now I have a reference piece. Now, should be good to just slide these right up to the edge of that blade. Right there is where I want it. Okay. Pull it back, turn the blade on. There you go. Now we got this clean edge there, clean edge there. Take the tape off. Actually, before I take the tape off, I'm just going to keep them together and then just blot the ends. That way we can get all the ends stained at one time. And just double checking, I got 2, 4, 6, 8. All right, that's going to be all my pieces. Here, let me show you what I'm talking about with this stain here. Spin you guys around. And I just have kind of a rag that already has some stain on it that I was using earlier. So now I'm just going to kind of blot the ends. Make sure they're nice and covered. All right, now I'll take my other rag and kind of wipe those off. Oh, missed a couple little spots. There we go. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tape off. Separate all of them and then wipe off that little excess stain that's on there, because I don't want little blotches of stain. Make sure those ends are nice. So there we go. Now we got a clean end that's not showing wood, raw wood. It's easy enough. Probably be wearing gloves, getting this all over my hands, but I don't care right now. Oh man, that's a shame. That little knot just popped right out. How was that even in there? It was like that. Okay. All right, well, I'm just gonna glue that one back in. That'll be fine. Needs a little bit more on the edge there. All right, now we're good. Let's bring them over and tack them in place. Figure out where we want to tack them in place first. So, should probably do these guys too at the other, stain them as well, but set those down for now. These guys put here. All right. Whoa. Jumping around. So I'm just gonna see if, yeah, so I do need to stain the ends of the other ones here because I have that round over, you can just see in there a little bit and see that it's raw wood, and I'm not a huge fan of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and stain these ends as well real quick. So we'll just jump over there and repeat that. Back over to the stain. There we go. Doesn't take much, especially with end grain, it soaks it up real quick. It's interesting working with little pieces like this and like a lot of pieces at one time, because I had like 8 long, like 4-foot strips of this stuff that I had to sand this morning. So just trying to think of it more as like a batch and figuring out how to, instead of like individually going on each one and sanding it all down, what I did was just clamp them all together like this. Sand one face, turn them all a quarter turn, sand the other face, and so on. So it's just interesting when you're working with kind of batches of stuff, when you have a lot of different parts to do, figuring out different processes that you can do to speed up kind of the process. Okay, done. Not waste any time. Let's get back over there. There we go. Hello, hello, everybody. Thanks for joining, guys. Okay, those are good to go. The sides, or the bottom and tops, are good to go. I just need to figure out, wonder how this would be for spacing. If we did that, another one. I think that's gonna be a little too... Oh, actually, you know what? I could just do that instead. I could do... Yeah. I could just use that top as the bottom here. Or do I want to space it out a little bit? I don't know. I'm trying to see here. I think that spacing is going to be a little too much. So let's just see kind of the... We have 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need this space here divided by what? 1, 2, 3, like thirds kind of. So just eyeballing it, coming about a third. Looking about an inch or so. I mean, I guess I could measure it, but if I could find a tape measure somewhere. Look at that, it's 3 inches. So if we do an inch space in between, it should be even all the way around, if my theory is correct here. And what I'm gonna do is actually just use this guy. This is like just shy of an inch here. So I'm gonna use that as the spacer, I think. Let's go ahead and space them out. Now I have to figure out, now that I have that figured out, I have to see where I actually want to, how far this way I want to have them. Because I don't want to space them right here because everything's going to be really close together. I'm trying to kind of give it a little bit of room to breathe, just visually, so it's not too cramped together. So I think, let me see here. If we put some sides on it like that. And then I will have another one, another piece here, another piece here. Kind of cutting that into, let me see. So kind of cutting this into thirds, this space here. So if I want to do somewhere around there. Just curious what that would look like if we did a spacing like that. You know what? I like that. And it's going to be easy to do. I'm just going to use the actual plane as a spacer. And then now what I need to do is I just need to cut a 1-inch spacer. So it looks like it's probably more than an inch. It's 1.25 inches. So instead of using that, I'm just going to cut an inch little spacer real quick. And there we go, little 1-inch spacer. So if I do that, that is my bottom there. Kind of create this look here. I'm just gonna kind of roughly lay it on there and then see how it looks once I take the plane out here. I can get it to stay. All right. So something like that, and then we'll put this guy sitting in there. Yeah, I think that ain't too bad. I don't mind it. What's going on, everyone? We're working on the Bridge City tool display today, for those of you who just joined. Cool, okay, so I think I like where this is going. I like the spacing, and then I just need to make sure, let's see. Just make sure that once I put this other one on, it's gonna be spaced evenly as well. All right, well, I didn't account for something there. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I guess this is where AutoCAD would come into play, huh? What if we just drop it down like that, just to see, just curious. Just curious, I know I already kind of did that once, but. What do you guys think? Should I do them together like that, or separately and kind of space it out and create 2 molds like that? Thoughts? What do we think? What do we think? And then I'll make the spacing even through here. I'm leaning towards the 2, but what do you guys think? 1 versus what we had just a second ago. What do we think? Anything? Comments? Questions? Concerns? Let's see here. All right. Nothing? Nobody wants to chip in here? All right, well, I guess I'll just make the decision. I'm gonna go with 2. And I need to figure out the spacing for it. Oh, I know what I did before. I should have accounted for 3, let's see. Set that one aside. Should have accounted for having another one in here. Oh, it's collapsing. Okay, that's what I should be measuring right there instead of what I had before. What do we got? That's closer to 2 inches. All right. Gotta love Imperial, right? 2 divided by 3. Oh, nice. That's gonna be fun. So I think I'm gonna try to do about 5/8. See how that gets us. Okay. So we can space that out. We do, oh, just gonna eyeball 5/8 there. Yeah, that'll work right there. I like that spacing. Cool, okay, well, now that that's in place, what I'm gonna do is use this again as my spacer, because I know that's parallel. And we're gonna just start tacking stuff in place. Move the planes out of there. Keep everything nice and square when we're putting it in place. Okay, so that, and basically what I'm going to do, you'll see here in a second, I'm just going to throw a little bit of glue on top or underneath these, and then I'm going to just tack them in place with some brad nails. Okay, cool. So set these aside for now. So just going to do a tiny bit of glue. I don't want squeeze out. Definitely don't want squeeze out on this. Just a light layer of glue. Line it up on there. Just throw some brads in it. Next up is the sides. Nice and square. Perfect. Take that spacer out now. That up top. Oh, gotta put some glue on there. Just put one in this one. Hold it in place while the glue dries. All right, let's see how it fits. Make sure everything's good. Oh yeah. That'll do. Repeat the process. A little snug there. And we'll repeat this process on the other side as well to give nice symmetry. Making sure everything's lined up correctly. I'm blocking the camera for a minute here, but just give me a sec. All right, my nail gun's acting a little funny. There we go. No more spacer needed. Okay, before I tack that one on, I can tack it into the bottom there. But before I tack the top in place, put this on there and make sure it's nice and even on the sides. There we go. All right. Got a little bit of glue squeeze out, but I can wipe that off real quick. Now we're getting somewhere. All right. It's coming together. I'm gonna get a rag and just wipe that glue off real quick. Tiny bit of squeeze out, but that's okay. All right, now let's go ahead and do the same thing on this side. Get you guys a little closer, why not? I'm gonna throw a little bit of glue where this knot is trying to come out in this piece, just a tiny bit. That should do it. Okay, now we got our spacer here, and use that as our spacer. Looking good. Light layer of glue. Okay. Next up, side pieces. Where's my rag at? And my square, where'd my square go? Keep putting things down and forgetting where I put them. There we go. coming together. It's coming together. Again, this one it's already, the weight is already going to be resting on there, so actually there's not really going to be any weight resting on it, so one in the middle, that's fine. And our spacer block. And repeat the process. Oh, wrong one. Get a longer piece there. That's what we need. Yeah, we can put this one on. Flush it up there. Make sure this one's flushed up on the side as well. All right. Let's see how we look. Oh man, it's coming along. All right, let's back out a little bit and see. All right, pretty cool. Bridge City Toolworks. There we go. Now we're talking. Nice. All right. Well, we need to continue. Decide what we want to put on there next. Got those in place. Oh, I know what I want to put on there next. Our other planes. Actually, you know what? I am missing one plane. So we have these two here, but I am missing one. So I'm gonna make this kind of the plane, hand plane section. So since I'm missing one, I'm not gonna try to lay these out until I have that other one, because I want it to be kind of symmetrical and make sure everything's gonna line up properly. So I think what I'm gonna do now is actually work on the flat back portion here. So I'm gonna put you on the side, I guess, because I don't want you looking at my back the whole time. And I'm gonna back you out a little bit here. So my initial thought with the back here is we have our square here, and I wanted to do that as kind of a centerpiece going down here like that. I think that would look kind of cool. Could do it across or something like that, but I think I like it coming down. Just adds kind of this line, comes down the center and kind of carries through everything. So I think I'd like to do that. And I just need to figure out if these little spacer things that I made are going to be enough to hold it in place, or if I need to create kind of like a groove for it to sit in. So for instance, if I just tack it up there like that. And I just don't want it sliding off the end, which I think it should be fine, honestly. I think it's good where it is there. It's not going to slide off unless somebody, knocks it over or something. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these and just tack one on either side like that. And then I'm going to measure it out to this edge here. And instead of just cutting a 90, I think I'm going to do like a 30 degree, 30, maybe a 45. No, I'll do like a 30. Because it looks like this is probably around, I don't know. It's probably less than 30. I don't know. I'll cut an angle because I want to kind of match that, but the other way. So I'm going to just do that right now. Let me bring you over to the table saw. We can figure it out together. There we go. So I think for now I'm just going to measure it right to the end there. I'm just going to cut it square, and then I'll go back and kind of throw an angle on it until I like what angle we come up with. So now, pretty much at the end, I'm going to take off a tiny bit more. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is just kind of turn this guy. We'll start at 22.5 and see where that gets us. Yeah, I kind of like that actually. So I don't know if you can see well or not, but so I'm just kind of having this angle, and instead of just coming straight down with it, so instead of having that look a little bit funny, just kind of create a little bit of an edge that comes down to kind of create a profile. I'm going to do one on either side, like I said, so that it just kind of rests on them. Cool. I like that. So now I'll just do one more of those. What I'll do here is I need to create the opposite. So flip it over. And then cut it. And then cut the length afterwards. Okay, now we'll put this back to square. Little blue tape. That's it. I just need to stain these ends and then find out where center is. Let's go over to our little stain rag real quick. Stain rag, there we are. I am going to do both ends on this one because both will be visible. Sweet. All right, let's go see if we can find out where center is. And I think the most important thing that I have to do now is make sure that they're perfectly level this way, because if not, then that whole square is going to be sitting one way or the other. So I need to figure out how to do that. So essentially this is what we got going on. Just two little pieces that slide under there. I'm gonna tack those on, and then that needs to sit straight down like that. So I think the easiest way to do this is to find, I think I'm just gonna come off the side here. Let me see if you guys can see what I'm pointing at. So I think I'm gonna come off the side here and just pull a line over, and then up here and pull a line over so that I can get a nice parallel line going down there. In order to get it centered, I'm just gonna kind of throw it in the middle here. Put those down for a second. I'll set my pencil down when I need it the most. So I'm gonna eyeball it here, just getting it centered in the middle here, and then I'm gonna just do a line, roughly just a light little mark. Let's see there. Okay. Is this long enough? Is it long enough? Yes, it is. Cool. So I have one of the tools I'm actually putting on there. I'm going to be using it to lay out right now. So let's see where that little mark is. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. So from the edge, it's sitting about 570. Call it 574 millimeters, excuse me. 574. I'm just gonna go up here. You gauge where it's gonna land on. So I want it to sit evenly spaced, or at least fairly closely spaced. About right there. 574, put it about right there. And then I'm gonna make a little line here. Whoa. Too many things going on at once. Okay, so that's roughly where I want it there. Now I need to come over that 574. 574. There. That's where the edge of it is going to be. Now, what's the best way to do this? So what I'm going to do is actually use a piece of plywood as a gauge here. Let's see here. So I'm just going to cut a nice square edge on this piece of plywood and then use that as a reference point. Check that it's square. Yes, it is. Okay, so I need to make a mark down here. Where did I put it? God, I'm so bad about setting things down and forgetting where they are. There it is. All right, now I'm going to come over here and also make a reference point for the 574. About there. Now with the square edge, come along, there it is. And then there, and then I'm going to bring it down all the way to there. Where'd it go? I lost it. There it is. So I know this might be a little confusing the way I'm doing it, but it makes sense to me. There we go, right there, and there. That's right where I want it. I'm just going to make a line here. Okay. So in a perfect world, just tack that on there like that, and then it would sit perfectly where I want it to be. Just like that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tack one side in, and then I'm going to use this actually as a gauge to reference, make sure I have it nice and square on there. So again, use a little bit of glue. And the good thing is these tools don't weigh too much, or at least the ones I'm hanging on this part don't weigh too much, so it should be fairly simple with me tacking them on here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to switch out for a little bit longer nails so that I get more grip, because the backer there is 3/4, and the other the shelves that I was doing are 1/2 inch, so I can get a little bit more meat on there with this backer. That right in that corner there. Hopefully on my line. And tack one side in. Okay. Now, should be good to set that on there like so. And find my line that's parallel. There it is. Now I can tack that other side in. And we'll be good to go. Sweet. Now I'm guaranteed that it's going to be straight down, nice and parallel. Grab that other piece, glue it up, and tack it in. And I'm just going to leave a tiny bit of space in between because I don't want to be too tight. Just the tiniest little gap in between there. Step back, make sure it looks good. Yes, it does. I can bring this one up, make sure it's locked in there perfectly. Sweet. Look at that. A little bit of glue squeeze out. Easy cleanup. Awesome. It's coming together. So let's have a look. Make sure everything looks correct. Nice and square on there. Not bad, not bad. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to want to fall forward either. It sits nice on there. So I have a few other rules here. These are pretty much, they are the exact same thing. So I could, to figure out what I want to, I can't do them this way, obviously, so I'll have to do them vertical. I mean, I could do some sort of diagonal thing if I wanted to, but I don't think I want to do that. Could go like up here. Let me see my reference pictures that I took earlier and see what I was doing for like the squares and stuff. I think I was putting those on a shelf, but I'm just gonna see. Okay, so looks like I was gonna try to do the squares and stuff on here as well, like the tri-squares and the miter squares. So that's something we can work on as well. Why not throw that on there? Wonder what we could do like this or something. Or if we want to do something like that, or could do something like that. Thinking that might be best. Something like this. Now this is the part that I actually almost want to just lay this thing back on the ground. That way I can kind of lay things out and eyeball how they look. So I think I might actually do that. I think I might pull it away from the wall, turn the lights off, and then lay it down. Be much easier to kind of look at things that way. We'll take all the tools off. unplug it. I think it still looks cool without the lights on, but I don't know. I'm gonna string this through here so it doesn't get caught on anything. All right, let me see if I have enough space here. 8 foot will be there. Yeah, we can deal with that. Okay, so I'm gonna back up here. You guys are gonna watch me wrestle this thing. It's actually not that heavy, but it's gonna be fun trying to lay it down by myself. You have a piece of wood here, just resting it against the wall. Okay, so let's go ahead and slide it out. I'm gonna lay it down this way, it'd be easier, so. And then I don't want to crush this LED light, so I'm going to put some stuff underneath it to hold it up. Hold it off the ground. Like I said, not too heavy. Basically just a 3/4 sheet of ply plus, get out of here, overhead dust collector. Plus some 4x4s. All right, that'll be easier to work with. So now we can get a little shot over here. Now I can kind of lay the tools out on it and see kind of what layout I want to go with. So obviously we have this one set there, which we like. And we have our tri-squares, our miter squares. Just gonna throw some stuff on there for now, just to look, have a look-see. This guy. What other stuff do we want to put on there? These guys. This one, these ones. Some little rules. Yeah, this is much easier than trying to lay it out on when it's up top there. Hey, this isn't bad actually. I don't mind this at all. That there. It's looking pretty cool so far. What else? We do have this guy, which we could put here if we wanted to. Don't want to cram too much stuff there. All right, let's get some opinions. Let me bring you guys around the other side. Let's go all the way around here. Oh, we're caught. Okay. There we are. Thoughts? What do we think? How do we think it's looking so far? I do have a couple other squares. For instance, I have a medium size, or no, I think we have a small size of this one and then a medium of this one, I believe. So we can add stuff later, but we don't have to have every single tool on here. It's just kind of nice to visually have everything in place. What are we thinking? I'm almost wondering if somehow I want to kind of come up like this and follow the swoosh of this, maybe? I don't know. Kind of have some lines coming down like this. Kind of the following the lines going down. Maybe we could do something like that. I don't quite like that as much. What do you guys think? Anything? Any thoughts on how it should be laid out? Changes going on? Let's see YouTube chat. I like it how it was before, honestly. I think we could do it. What did I have before? Something like that? Have it like that. I kind of like that, actually. I like the way it kind of swoops down. For instance, right here, it kind of almost has like a pyramid effect going down like that, down like that. This being kind of the high point, the center. I think we'll stick with that. I kind of like that. Now I just need to figure out how I'm gonna mount these guys so that they stay and don't fall off when I raise it up. That's one thing. This one's got a hole in the top, but then the rule over here does not. So I'll have to figure out something how to hold those in place. They are flexible, so I wonder if I could do almost like a thing where I put the top in and then bend it a little bit and then have the bottom just kind of tucked into something. Actually, yeah, I have an idea of how to do it. It wouldn't be too hard to do. I would just have to push up and then take the bottom out. Yep, okay. That would be easy enough. So now what I want to do is I want to just take this right there and then take this straight edge. Get kind of a parallel line going here across. Just line up everything kind of exactly where I want it to be. Just want it all to be cohesive and clean visual lines. As well as fairly evenly spaced. So I'm going to pull that away just a little bit there. This guy, I'm not really sure if I want to put on the wall here or not. just for visual's sake, I might grab another rule like that and put it on this side to have some symmetry. We do have a metric version of that one as well, so I might just put that on there to have everything symmetrical. Okay, so we're just gonna make sure this is lined up here. Just curious how far that is there. Oh, I do have, where to go? Here it is. I do have this guy as well we could throw on here. It's a possibility. We could do something with that. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut a little block for down here and then up here. So what is it? It's like a, just make it a we'll make it a 2-inch block. Give it about a 1/4 inch on each side. So I need 4 2-inch blocks. I'll bring you guys around here so you can, oh. It's a little cramped in here with this big project. Swing you all the way around here. And there we go. Back to the old table saw. So we'll do the same method as before. Square up the edges. Piece of tape across there. Nice and squared up there. Now we gotta do, what'd I say, 2, right? 2 inches. I am actually gonna do something. Whoa, that peeled right off. Before I do that, I am going to, you'll see what I'm gonna do in just a second. Basically, I'm gonna create a little groove so that the rules can lock into it, so that way they're not gonna slide or fall off. The way I'm gonna do that is need to see how thick this one is. Will the blade width work? Yes, it will. Okay. So I'm just gonna take off just a touch, creating a little notch for that, for the rule to sit into. And I just wanna come up not far at all. Okay, that'll do. This will make more sense in a minute. Perfect. Okay. Slide the fence out of the way. Now I'm going to cut some of these in pieces here. Is that blade back up? Cut it roughly in half again. Set my stop here. Wait for that blade to die down. Okay, so I'm going to set my stop at 2 inches. Whoop. Interesting. Well, that stop won't go over as far as I want. Guess we'll just freehand it here. Where's my square? So I'll kind of essentially show you what I'm doing. So this has a little groove in it now that I can sit it like that and it's not going to pull out. And then this one's going to go on the bottom as well. Now I'm not going to make it too tight. I'm going to make it just about like that so that it has enough room to kind of slide out and then drop down. So we'll make it, it'll be pretty precise, but yeah, so we'll just have that on either side holding it in place. We'll throw some stain on these, and we'll tack it on there. Stain rag. And I do want to get a little bit in that groove too. Sometimes it's pretty difficult to do little pieces like this, unless you're doing like hand cutting them, but it's not always efficient to hand cut stuff. Guys, we are gonna finish this display today. It's gonna look so cool when it's done. All the tools just chilling on there, ready to be used. Got my finger all black, huh? Whoa. Runaway piece. Okay. Good to go. Now let's see if we can lay them out properly on here. All right, so essentially what we're gonna be doing is putting one right here. Ooh, actually I like how that's lining up with the other one there. I do like that. May bring that over so it's kind of centered in there. Yeah, I'm gonna do that actually, I like that. Actually, they should be the same size, right? Nice. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just use this top as a reference point. Slide these out of the way for a second. Now I can just use this right there as my point of reference. It's gonna be a little bit tricky trying to get these to fit like just enough to where I can slide it in and out. Okay, I like where that is right there. Space that off about 1/4 inch. Inch off the edge, centered on that. Now I can take this out of the way. Put that on there where I want it. And hope it stays. Right there. Nobody move. Jumped up just a tiny bit. Okay, so should be able to do that. Set it in there. That should be good. Okay, so now what I need to do is just make sure that I have this aligned. What I'm going to do is actually use this one just because I need to measure with this one. Sitting about 130 millimeters. Come down here, make sure it's square. 130, right there. All right, now I have a reference for where to put my bottom piece. The bottom piece, I am going to put a little bit of glue on. Top piece doesn't matter, that's just kind of lightly holding it in place. Right there. And actually, I'm going to space out just a little bit. Make sure I can get it out of there. Perfect. All right, here's one. And once that sits on there, it should be good to go. That should be held in place. Now let's do the same thing with the other one. It's all detail work at this point. It's all a bunch of little stuff. So get that referenced across. That's where I need it there. This piece on, like I said, spaced out about 1/4 inch. Oh man, sometimes this thing acts up. Make sure it's still where I want it. Right there. To reference and make sure that it's going to be square going down. $130 I said last time. 130 it is. Right there. Where'd my other little piece go? There it is. It's hiding on me. Okay. Glue. Excuse me. Where'd my glue go? There it is, hiding over here. Tiny bit of space. All right. We have a spot for both of these to go. Just like that. Wonderful. Time is it here? Probably gonna be wrapping up the live stream soon, but I'm gonna continue on this and get all these tacked on and then work on the bottom a little bit more. Everything else should be pretty straightforward. Just doing some little detail adjustments. Yeah, I'm not going to put this guy on there on the face. I'm going to put it on the lower shelf, I think. Got this little guy too. My hands are quite dirty with that stain, but it'd be fun to figure out where to put this guy. Fun little gadget for you. Maybe we'll just put it right front and center. How about that, right there? Will that work? Hey, there we go. No, we'll figure out a place for it, but... Alright guys, well I think I'm going to wrap up there and then get some of these guys laid out there. That way next week you can come back and see everything finalized. Also, we're wrapping this up here, finalizing it, and next week we'll be starting on a new project. It's going to be kind of a fun little project. We're doing a desk for the AWFS convention, so we'll be kind of designing that and yeah, getting it all set up. So desk starting next week. Got to get the materials ordered for that. And yeah, this guy's wrapping up, so that's where we're going to end it today. I really appreciate you guys following along and hope you enjoyed some of the craziness going on here. And I wish you guys a great rest of your Thursday. And we will be here. Let me get you guys set up. See if you can see my face a little bit here. We will be here every Thursday at noon Pacific time. So every Thursday, if you're bored, noon Pacific time, check us out. I believe it's 4 p.m. East Coast time, 2 p.m. Central time. So yeah, follow along. We just got some cool stuff going on, random stuff. So just doing some woodworking, talking woodwork, stuff like that. So yeah, so what we got going on. Just a reminder to check out the AWFS